Okay, so friend of mine sent this to me on my Discord. And let's see what Diablo has in store for us in the Vessel of Hatred. But I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna say it. If Mephisto is not a boss in the Vessel of Hatred, and since PoE 2 is coming out really, really soon, probably many people are gonna uninstall this game. But yeah, let's see. Surprise me, please. Campaign
Vessel of
spoilers
Hatred
ahead.
is the
I
next
highly
big
doubt it.
chapter in the story of Diablo 4. When we last left off, we had defeated Lilith, and Neyrelle was sailing south with Mephisto's Soulstone in hand. This is
Yeah.
a tremendous burden for someone as young and untrained as Neyrelle. But somehow she has
So
found the will to
probably
fight,
Mephisto is
challenging the
coming.
primeval every step of the way. In this expansion, we follow their path as Neyrelle seeks salvation from Mephisto.
Actually, on the PTR, there was this thing. You couldn't create a seasonal character, but if you hover over that, and you could see the seasonal theme for season 6. That's what I saw, at least. And there were some hints like fight monsters influenced by the Icar of Mephisto. Nothing about Mephisto himself. And hopefully the story goes how it went in Diablo
searches for a way.
2, like Mephisto bringing Diablo back into the Diablo game, like 2 years after. We'll see. Hopefully not the Tarzan class who has to fight it, and some like Crusader or Paladin class, which is actually the best Diablo gameplay, which we do not have in the Diablo game. Oh boy.
To banish
People probably hate me now as me main in Necro. Well, feel free to fuck off. Yeah?
him back to the abyss.
As we wrap up Diablo 4, there has been a huge battle in hell between Inarius, the Cathedral of Lights, and Lilith.
The only thing they are wrong about, actually, is that hell is here. It's not somewhere underground or whatever. This is hell. You have a physical body, for fuck's sake. How much worse can it get? Not much.
Campaign in Diablo 4, you're basically trying to defeat Lilith, so you team up with people like Neyrelle, who's this young, eager character, and then you've got Laura, who is this sort of wise drunk. He was the Herodrum, so he brings
I think Neyrelle is a really good example of someone who only learns through experience, doesn't understand the words and their meaning well or something. I don't know. How much more does she have to lose here? Because she pretty much lost everything.
Old school thinking. He ends up being the catalyst of the group.
Inarius believed that if he killed Lilith, he would be accepted again by heaven. So he went after Lilith. He actually stabbed her, and heaven did not take him back. Right? And he had this moment of, I've been wrong this entire time, and she used that against him and ended up killing Inarius.
Poor fella.
Her goal was to devour her father, Mephisto, and we ended up actually stopping her. And so even though she was defeated, she kind of gave us a warning of, I was the only one that could actually save you from Mephisto.
Neyrelle is left with the Soulstone,
Mephisto
and
is
she
coming,
decides
hopefully.
to take the essence of Mephisto and trap him into the Soulstone.
Lorath is still with us and is going to try and help us find information on where Neyrelle went.
And so we leave off with her sailing south with the stone, telling you, do not follow. The world might need you. And over time, things start to unfold, and you realize that Neyrelle cannot do this alone. And so you start your search for her.
That's actually how heroes are born. There's no evil, there's no like
Vessel of
development.
Hatred, the
That's
Cathedral of
actually
Light
even worse.
is
Like the ancient evil of stagnation, having no evil in the universe. That's even worse. But yeah, okay. Let's
in
see.
disarray.
It became a bit fractured with the death of Inarius, so there was a bit of a split with the Cathedral of Light afterwards.
This created an opening for a whole new sect to rise up and take things into their own hands. And so you end up with a militant wing of the church that is the Burnt Knights. Burnt Knights are led by Yurvar, a survivor of hell. He's uncompromising.
And looks like
he
our
feels that
character
he's
here is
final
Barbarian
judgment,
for
and that
those
he's going to make
cinematics.
better decisions.
They don't
for the
show us
church.
the new
They battled in
class
hell, and now
in
they're
the
on this
cutscenes. What the
manhunt
fuck, man?
for Nerel and for Lorath. They want them to pay for their crimes, and they think that they should be the ones that have a say in what happens to Sanctuary.
Mephisto is
Hatred,
the Lord of
corruption.
Hatred.
Yeah,
He's
Diablo
probably
2.
the
And here
one
with Tower
primeval
Asha,
that
isn't
can
it?
create the most
Summoning Diablo.
deep-rooted chaos, breaking up the people of Sanctuary.
In the events of Diablo 2, he was destroyed. He's been slowly resurrecting himself in hell, and he wants to come back and bring himself back to Sanctuary. And now that he is in this soul stone that Nerel carries, this is his opportunity.
The Herald of Hatred is Mephisto's wolf form. It's this astral projected form that he gets to put out and connect with the player and whisper in people's ears.
The connection between Nerel, the player, and Mephisto is the fate of the world. Nerel wants to get rid of him, but the more time she spends with the stone, the tighter the bond between her and the stone is.
We want them in the game.
The corrupting influence of Mephisto's soul stone is going to potentially convince her to bring Mephisto back instead of destroy him like she originally wanted. So we need to actually make sure that she fulfills her original intent and doesn't fall to Mephisto's influence.
Okay. Yeah,
Nerel
the spirit
plans to
realm,
bring
boy,
the
that's
soul
like
stone
the worst
into
part
the
of the
vault of
game.
light, so she can purify the soul stone of
The whole
Mephisto's
Zakharon
essence.
fate is
The
based
Vault
on a
of
lie.
Light is this really sacred place that Akarat created. His presence is really important through the history of Sanctuary.
No,
Akarat
I
wandered
think
the world
Deckard Cain is
speaking
far
the
more
teachings
important,
of
and
the Zakharon
unfortunately a
faith.
butterfly
His
killed him
tomb
or
is
whatnot.
also said to be in the Vault of Light, which is in Nahatu.
Akarat is the one who
yeah.
discovered the spirit realm. When the World Stone was forged and Sanctuary came out of it, this veil was created, and that's what created the spirit realm. Demons aren't there, angels aren't there. It's a very special place for humanity. And for a long time, the spirit realm was not touched. And now Mephisto's corruption is creeping its way, and that's a fear that everybody in Nahantu is
It looks
thinking
good.
about.
Spirituality is really unique to humanity.
Yep.
And in the jungle, it's a big part of their culture.
Aru is this elder, this magical being, a spirit born, and he's really connected to Nahantu. This is his home. This is his ancestral lineage, and he's guiding the player on this journey to help Nerel.
We actually find out that there have been sightings of Nerel in Nahantu, and we end up following her there.
In Vessel of Hatred, this is a story about isolation. We start
Oh, yeah,
off with the
definitely gonna do a
concept
slow
that
lore
Nerel
run,
is trying to
hardcore,
do
of
this
course.
alone, but at some point you realize that things are escalating. And so we
yeah?
morph
How?
from this idea of isolation into the idea of being stronger together.
For someone that has been through the journey
What about
that our
us
wanderer
lone
has,
wolves
that
who
Nyrel
want
has been
SSF
through,
in this game?
you feel there's hope that Sanctuary is not going to be lost.
You get to see pockets of Sanctuary that we haven't been able to see before, but it's still all
Well,
in
we've
the
seen him
same
in Diablo
tone, in
2.
that same world that everybody loves so much.
Yeah. Actually, what I wanna see... Yeah, October 8, blah blah blah. Right, that was it. But actually, what I wanna see, and it's probably reserved for the expansion, which is after this one, is them opening West March and bringing Diablo in the Diablo game, and probably because of West March is where the Paladins originated from, so we're probably gonna get Diablo with some Crusader or Paladin class or something, especially if Nyrel doesn't fail, like doesn't fail so bad, and survives bringing Mephisto into Sanctuary, so somehow she might be related to forming this new sect or new order or whatever, because she's very knowledgeable of the Zakharon shit. So yeah, let's see where this will lead us. But what I'm thinking will happen in this expansion, story-wise, it was fairly obvious. Well, completing the previous campaign on the original Diablo 4 is something like that. Like Mephisto corrupting Nyrel, coming as a boss, so on and so forth, and then she's like related to forming the new class. Hopefully it's something like something between Diablo 2's Paladin and like Diablo 3's, what was it? Whatever it was called there. Oh boy, this game called 3, which no one knows why it has Diablo in its name. At least it has Diablo in the Diablo game. Anyway, yeah, thank you guys for watching. You know, I'm always talking shit about such things because I'm entitled to my own opinion. I'm not enforcing it on you. You don't have to agree with it. Feel free to send me some hate if you wanna. I'll be around. See you on the next one.